Today's headlines. Oil and gas issue, Sarawak Premier reveals phone call from Prime Minister reaffirms commitment to win-win solution. Sarawak government seeks BNM approval to channel special financial aid to students abroad. Berambeh, Anak Sarawak 2025 UK edition to become an annual event. Good evening. Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Abdurrahman Zohari Tun Datuk Abang Openg revealed that he received a phone call from Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim on Saturday, signalling a renewed commitment to finding an equitable and amicable resolution to the ongoing matters involving Petroleum Nasional Berhad, Petronas and the state of Sarawak in the oil and gas sector. Speaking during the Sarawak Agenda Town Hall session held in conjunction with Berambeh Anak Sarawak 2025 United Kingdom UK edition, the Premier stated that discussions are moving forward based on a win-win approach for both Sarawak and Petronas.
In terms of forestry, in terms of carbon sink, in terms of our oil and gas, at the moment adalah main bol-bol sikit dengan Petronas. I'm sure you have read what's going on now, but we are going to settle this issue. In fact, the Prime Minister called me this morning, and we have a formula to settle the issue is win-win between our side and also Petronas. This will be based on our sincerity that oil and gas must be shared, and we have done our part.
In a related development, the Premier also highlighted the Sarawak government's focus on strengthening the state's economic foundation, particularly through the establishment of the Sarawak Sovereign Wealth Future Fund, which has been allocated 8 billion ringgit in reserves. He explained that once Sarawak's economic stability reaches a strong and sustainable level, the benefits of this growth will be channeled back to the people through a well-planned and inclusive economic development strategy. He reaffirmed Sarawak's current focus is on consolidating the state's economic base. Once Sarawak achieves solid economic stability, Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari said the returns will be distributed to the people through a structured and comprehensive approach across all sectors. Approximately 230 Sarawakian students from the United Kingdom, Germany and France participated in the Berambeh Anak Sarawak 2025 UK edition program. Meanwhile, the Sarawak government requires approval and clear guidelines from Bank Negara Malaysia (BNM) before it can disburse special financial assistance to Sarawakian students pursuing their studies overseas in a fair and regulated manner. Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari explained that the special financial aid amounting to 1,200 ringgit is currently being provided to Sarawakian students enrolled at institutions of higher learning across Malaysia. However, he noted that this assistance has yet to be extended to students studying abroad.
Masalah adalah kita ini kami dua pada Sarawak. Jawapan saya sedikit which there is a certain restriction by Canada in the outflow of funds. So if you were to send money outside Malaysia, because it involves conversion of currency, and that one also involves currency trading. It is supervised by Canada.
For context, the special financial assistance for students in local institutions was announced under the Sarawak Budget 2025, which was tabled during the State Legislative Assembly sitting in November 2024. This initiative is specifically targeted at supporting students, particularly those from low-income families. The Premier further emphasized that the disbursement of the financial aid must be equitable regardless of whether the students are based in Malaysia or studying overseas. He stressed that the state government must ensure that the value of the assistance is comparable in terms of purchasing power parity.
Jadi, at the moment, apabila sudah kita bicara, saya cobalah katakan $1,200 bibit ya, berapa, kenapa? Di situ, mesti kita, kalau saya ambil itu banyak, itu uang si ada juga. Jadi sudah dulu minta bila saya jual kita. So that is what we call PPP. PPP ini purchasing power parity. So very complicated. Bukan kami semua very complicated, and we have to have certain endorsement daripada ya problem. Jadi saya tidak nyawa tidak dorong.
The inaugural Berambeh Anak Sarawak 2025 UK edition is set to become an annual event following its overwhelming response and strong participation from the Sarawakian student community abroad. The Sarawak Premier made the announcement during a brief address at the Majlis Makan Malam Anak Sarawak on Saturday evening local time. He revealed that the 2026 edition of the program will be held in the city of Manchester. He said after discussions with cabinet ministers from Sarawak accompanying the Sarawak Premier in London, they have agreed to establish Berambeh Anak Sarawak UK edition as an annual event starting next year. This announcement underscores the Sarawak government's commitment to continuing the initiative as a platform for strengthening identity, fostering professional networks, and facilitating knowledge exchange among Sarawakian students abroad. Such programs not only reinforce ties between the state government and Sarawakian diaspora communities, but also provide an opportunity for open dialogue on the future of an inclusive and progressive Sarawak. Meanwhile, the gala dinner was a vibrant affair, showcasing the rich cultural tapestry of Sarawak in a lively and celebratory atmosphere. The evening brought together hundreds of Sarawakian students currently pursuing their studies in the United Kingdom, France, and Germany, united in camaraderie and pride in their Sarawakian heritage. The Berambeh Anak Sarawak 2025 UK edition has ignited a strong sense of pride and identity among some 230 Sarawakian students currently pursuing their studies in the United Kingdom, France, and Germany. More than just a gathering of the Sarawakian diaspora, the historic event served as a vital platform for students abroad to gain first-hand insights into the state's development direction under the Post-COVID-19 Development Strategy PCDS 2030. According to Amiruddin Ahmad, Director of Berambeh Anak Sarawak 2025 UK edition, the event marked a significant milestone in the Sarawak government's ongoing efforts to engage with Sarawakians overseas, particularly among students based in the UK, France, and Germany. Amiruddin, who is a postgraduate student in subsurface energy engineering at the University of Manchester, described the event as a bridge that connects Sarawakian students abroad with the state's top leadership.
So the reason why kami plan to bawa the Berambeh to the UK is because kami merasa because kami pernah datang ke KL the Berambeh, and most of the students here they never experienced the Berambeh, and we want to bring the Berambeh, the spirit of Berambeh into the UK. We want even the students in UK to also experience the Berambeh, to meet with the Premier, also to meet with all the senior leadership in the Sarawak.
For Muhammad Anik Ashwin Abuzar, a law student at the University of the West of England, Bristol, the UK edition of the program held great significance in amplifying the voices of Sarawakian students abroad.
First and foremost, I want to see on a more wider aspect of the impact. I want to see maybe from this, from the sharing here, the students or the diaspora, Sarawakian diaspora here can see that there are proper pathways for us to go back to Sarawak to serve. And even if we are needed to serve here, then there are going to be plans where eventually we will be brought back to Sarawak. And there is opportunity for us back home in Sarawak.
Amir Zakwan, a bachelor's degree student in computing, IT, and business management at the University of Surrey, noted that exposure to Sarawak's current development efforts underline the state government's seriousness in involving the younger diaspora in its long-term plans.
Kami berharap yang semua benda yang di-share pada Berambeh tu dapat educate semua kamu yang ada stop because kamu dari jauh semestinya tahu what's happening back home. So bila kamu tahu apa yang berlaku back home, kamu akan inspired to come back and contribute back to Sarawak. And Berambeh tu is just a stepping stone to bigger events abroad to get Sarawakians from all across the world to come back and contribute balik ke tanah air kita lah.
The 2025 JKR Sarawak Bersama Mahasiswa UiTM program held at Rumah Panjang Mendit Anak Unsu in Penom Ulu Paku, Spawu on Friday signaled a new chapter in fostering closer ties between the civil engineering sector and academia. The event was officiated by Sarawak Deputy Premier, who is also the second Minister for Finance and New Economy, as well as Minister for Infrastructure and Port Development, Datuk Amar Douglas Uga Mbas. In his officiating address, Datuk Amar Douglas Uga emphasized the importance of deepening knowledge among the younger generation while staying rooted in cultural values that form the core identity of Sarawak society. He described exposure to cultural heritage such as that found in longhouse communities as a vital component in developing resilient and well-rounded individuals. Programs like this should be continued so that students gain a clearer understanding of the realities of the engineering industry and are better prepared for the challenges of the working world. Datuk Amar Douglas Uga also expressed his appreciation to the Sarawak Public Works Department (JKR) for its successful execution of infrastructure projects, which were completed on schedule and met the required standards. He said this achievement reflects the department's competence and unwavering commitment to driving the state's development. Sarawak has lost a renowned journalistic figure with the passing of veteran journalist and writer James Ritchie at the age of 74. According to the Deputy Minister in the Premier's Department, Corporate Affairs, Information and UKAS, Datuk Abdullah Saidul, media practitioners in Sarawak have lost a leading individual among veteran media personnel who was very outstanding in his experience and career journey as a journalist and writer. He said the late journalist's involvement and dedication for almost 5 decades in the world of journalism since 1971 had placed him as one of the main witnesses to the development of various aspects of the country's history, development, and important events, especially in Sarawak. Datuk Abdullah said James Ritchie's passing was not in vain as he leaves behind an exemplary legacy of excellent professional work culture, as well as many articles and books that are important reference materials that are still relevant. James Ritchie breathed his last at the Sarawak General Hospital on Saturday morning. The passing of the 2024 National Journalist Day Awards Hawana recipient was shared by one of his family members via a message on local media's WhatsApp. And that's the English edition with me, Phillip Yeoh. More news can be found in our official portal, ukas.sarawak.gov.my, and social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube. We conclude tonight's UKAS Bulletin with highlights from the Town Hall session in conjunction with the Berambeh Anak Sarawak 2025 UK edition in London on Saturday, local time. #Saluran Informasi Rakyat. Have a good night.